What's up, everybody? Showtime is the Blazer King with King's Critique for Baseball Gyaru, aka Catch Me at the Ballpark. Well, that's the actual name, but you know what it is. And, of course, as usual, I got a couple of precursors. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and, of course, leave comments down below if you want to talk about stuff within the episode or about the show as a whole. I love engaging in conversations with people. Or at least let the whole video run through, let me get the watch time, because that is highly appreciated. Because, well, watch time is one of the biggest cruxes to accomplish the whole thing I've been trying to do for a long time. That said, that's basically like saying break a leg. So he just jinxed the man. New pouring method? Can't tell the difference? Then fuck you guys. Oh. Oh my. Well, I mean, hey, let's be fair. Like, with the course of the way this show's going, that's probably a thing he'd get to see one day. But, like, also, isn't it insane how they're technically censoring this with his head when any other anime wouldn't give a shit about showing panties? But, like, the panties of a full grown adult woman, they censor. Okay, but for the comedic effect of it, it's working really well, I will say. Okay, she didn't ask if you saw the play behind her. She asked if you saw her. And he seems to be, like, misunderstanding. Or he's making a good excuse for himself by making a comment on the play. Okay, no, he is just being stupid, not understanding what she meant. And now she's making fun of him for it instead of being embarrassed in front of him. Though she's going to go behind her little hallway there and crash out like she did in the first episode, but at least she didn't crash out on him. Yeah, that is not what he meant at all, and that's probably going to further her embarrassment. But also, I still question why the fuck did they, like, I get it was for comedic effect, but I'm kind of surprised they didn't, like, show a bunch of anything, because usually zero problems. Full grown adult woman? Problems? Ah, so that's okay. Now I get why there was more of a comedic effect to it. Got it. I still stand by he's probably gonna see it one day though. The look on her face from him explaining it. Just like, yeah, that's it. Okay, no, but she kind of has a point on that one. She is definitely further hiding her embarrassment, but also she has a point. You did know. Of course, he notices, and she's still fucking with him. Yeah, sorry he did see or sorry he didn't see. Like, even he's confused. And when's the crash out? There it is. True! So he did say he was just making an excuse. Yeah, like that's kind of the at least interesting part of being two parties that very well could be oblivious at any given time. Because he's the overworked business guy, so he could be oblivious at any given time. And she's, I'm sorry to stick with this stereotype, a blonde Gyaru, so she could be oblivious at any given time. So it's just, okay, I'm gonna rewind just for a second. What he said in a couple seconds, the answer is yes, and that's just Ruriko and the coworkers. Oh, so it's a day off and they're there. Adorable. Wonder if Ruriko's gonna specifically track down the, businessman. Yeah. And again, I will say about this show, the one thing is I can abashedly say that they are all very attractive. Because a majority of the people on their staff are adults, except for the one chick, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Okay, you come on, man. Like, really, what kind of, like, I know he's fucking with them, but what kind of job doesn't let people come in when it's their day off just to, like, vibe for a minute? I can't think of a single job. And, like, I only am able to speak on the aspect of going, ow, into my parents' jobs throughout the years. And like 9 times out of 10, when they work like maybe not stadium jobs, but like you know retail, food service, etc., people 9 times out of 10 did not give a single fuck. Hearing the coworker over there like beer, yes, we actually get to drink our own product for once. Oh hey, and ironically enough, speaking of said 17-year-old girl, pretty sure this is the one. Sure, why not? Actually, am I gonna get a thumbnail from this? Aha! Thumbnail image. Possible thumbnail image, anyway. Ah, business guy spotted. And devious planning activated. he really doesn't. Come on, like, I understand that people can look like other people a lot of the times, but, like, she has a very distinct look, and, like, mostly from the Gyaru aspect, but come on, the piercings, those are all, like, very unique. Okay, second lap, just to see if he understands yet. Third lap, she's getting annoyed. Oh no, that's the point where she's actually really annoyed. So the second time was just regular annoyed. Now she's very annoyed. So she sits herself instead of introducing herself properly first, just to see if he recognizes her and her aura. Which, hey, listen, I mean, he really does not. Yeah, like we said in the last bit, he is oblivious. I mean, you're not wrong. She started fucking with you from the very beginning, and now she's screwing with you even further for the fun of it. He doesn't even recognize that tone of voice. Maybe now that he sees her eyes, he'll realize it. There you go. Damn, she was trying to, be all in his face about, her being herself and stuff at the job, and he just. No, that is literally just like your average normal guy, though. Like, completely not realizing it's somebody he knows decently from the job, that he didn't realize it was her in actuality. Still an idiot for not realizing that, though. But, like, not having the gumption to say something without the sudden realization at the very end when she got pissed off. Because it's like. Now, granted, at least that's at least the good part where my ugly ass has never, like, flirted with anybody on the job. Not for lack of trying, mind you. Because, like, I'd never run into that incident. Oh, and she's still pissed. This is days later. She's still pissed. Damn, just seeing herself right beside him to make her point. Yeah, even though you kind of lost your way with things. Like, nah, no, really, though. Like, he's oblivious as all hell, but at the very end, he go done more, like, when she started to walk away. Like, by this point, it's one of those things where, you know, I've heard some dumbass comments, but the one thing I will say about those comments is when there's like a 90% chance that a girl is into you, and like the signs are extremely obvious, if she walks away pissed off, but you're not in a relationship, there's at least more of a chance that it'll do good to, like, I don't know, go say something before she gets too far. Like, I have no charisma, none of that dumbass thing they call Riz, which is basically just a stupid word for charisma. I'm not attractive, I'm not that, but if I had a girl who was that obviously flirting with me and I didn't realize it until it was too late, I might say something. Because, like, I think the one time in my entire life it happened was just somebody who was not my type because an ex-friend convinced them to, start a conversation with me, and it just did not pan out. I don't even remember what the hell happened that day. Like, did I just ignore her for the obvious she's not my type, or did I ignore her because I was, like, in a hurry for something? I don't fucking remember. Shame, though. Yeah, the sunglasses thing I'll give him, though. Like, without seeing those beautiful eyes, it's not like it was that easy to tell, but again, the piercings. They are ever consistent. At least the three on the ear itself. That's workist? Jobist? Is there a word for that? Stereotyping? No, that's not it. To be fair, don't you wear name tags? Yeah, she's getting, like, pissed off for, like, a good reason, but, like, the way she's taking it is not a good path. But also, what I will say is, she's honestly probably the hottest of her coworkers. Matter of fact, isn't she the only blonde vendor girl out of all of them? At least that we see on a regular basis. Excuse me if you heard that. Yeah, kinda. So the sunflower was intentional for him to be able to pick her out. Adorable. Yeah, no, he kind of already did, but you're just gonna, again, cover your embarrassment. And really sucks when, you know, chicks like that get pissed and leave. But at least it's nice seeing them walk away. Sorry, I had to say the line. Okay, but like, also, I never pause for a reason involving the actual cut or midway cut here. But like, I think it's really this art that really does show that it's probably inevitable that even for it being bit comedy skits that happen, they're going to end up to be either like hinted at as a couple or be a couple by the end, because it really does look like the entirety of all the main cast is cheering them on. Yeah, like I'm not gonna call Ruriko stupid, but there definitely was probably better options. Okay, I'm just gonna say he either looks like in any other kind of anime, he'd either be a supervillain or B the tech genius. And like look at a lot of the anime I've covered and you'll see why I think that. Supervillain, got it. Wow, his boss is ripping him a new one. Well, that actually sounds about right for some sort of magazine. Okay. Yeah, but like that's really fucked up to have a title like that. But also it's not fully wrong, I guess. Because like you use super attractive people to try and sell your wares, the wares get sold. That's kind of like why a lot of restaurants usually use, really attractive women as hosts. Not all restaurants, mind you, but like a lot of them. Especially certain types of restaurants. I've been in enough of those where I can pretty much nail that, but can't really think of the term I'm thinking of for that, so I won't bother to even guess it. I mean, I don't know how much that's true. It is true when it comes to servers, that I know for a fact, because I have many people in my family who are servers that can say that for a fact. So I will say while I'm on this pause, when it comes to servers, if you're in a restaurant and you don't tip, you are scum of the earth, and I hope you rot in hell. Coming from somebody who is not a server themselves but has been affiliated with enough servers. Oh, and also I'm on like I don't know if it would be called food talk or server talk, but like I see a lot of TikTok videos involved and stuff like that, and a lot of y'all fucked. Wow, and he's just being ballsy enough to ask her outright. And it just confused her a little bit. But she didn't really dismiss it. She just kind of said a blanket statement. That she dismissed, though. I mean, the nastiest ones really are just those three old dudes who are borderline perverts. But even they're like weirdly good people where it matters because they helped out Ruriko with that social media thing. And of course, it's his asshole boss who's assuming things. Yeah, if anybody's gonna blow it, it's gonna be Ruriko. Like, I hate to talk bad about her, but yeah, if anybody's gonna blow it, it's gonna be her. Though, with that sinister look, she'll actually probably say stupid things, but not the kind of stupid things he's hoping for. That's actually a really good lesson to have, though, just to be able to fake it till you make it. It's probably not even what he said. I mean, that was one of them, not really self derived like he was putting out there, but that, yeah. Also, kind of like what he was thinking, but not exactly. Also, not what he was thinking. Also, not what he was thinking, but also true. Yeah, so all of her five W's were just positive thinking, which, again, at least she thinks positive about herself because she has no reason not to. Like, she's hot, she's good at her job, she's not very smart, but she at least tries. I love the way he put that, though. The five Gyaru W's. No! No, you all gave me very positive reviews. No, not really. I will say her look on things is very positive, but man, yeah, kind of bullshit. Because in real life, things are not that easy. In real life, he'd probably get the exact kind of information he wants. But this is anime, so it might be a little bit disappointing. Ow. Disappointing on that aspect. Because, like, not everyone's an asshole, and even the assholes kind of have some good in them. Weirdly. In reality, he'd get, like, a lot of good notes. But unfortunately, this ain't reality. This is the land of everything is great in life. Maybe not every anime that's the case, but this is slice of life slash comedy. Therefore, everything is awesome. At least he's being realistic about it, though. Did he just give her something to write about or to talk about in her thing? That's funny. This time it's actually his mother. Yeah, and then he said not to do that to his editor instead. Probably should have texted the mother after that. Also, I wish I had a parent that supportive. Like, my family says they try, or at least my cousin and my mother do, but, like, not as many people who could be trying to help do, which is sad. And, like, I know I've heard before, oh, having family and friends isn't that helpful to the YouTube side of things. Boy, listen, if my family and friends weren't trying to help, who the fuck would? Like, can't be self reliant on all my numbers. I can't, like, just be 10,000 different people. Maybe up here I can be, but, like, I like how he rewrote his intended thing to write up on. Because, like, there's no devious, dark, sinister shit going on in the background of the Vendor Girls. So instead of writing it in such a clickbaity title, he decided to do it the positive way. Hey, listen, history of black-haired girls becoming Gyaru's usually does not work out well. It is kind of funny, though. Like, I never read that. I never planned to try and track it down where it might not be banned to read it, but I still can make the jokes. That was the last thing I had to actively catch up to that I'm recording. Pog. Alright. Last outro for the day, which is good because it's getting pretty fucking dark. So the orange is going to eventually turn into a weird greenish blue and then probably just outright black aside this light. So we're going to try and wrap things up a little bit here. Uh, Again, I will say it is great having a show where I can just compliment like 90% of the characters and not have to feel bad about somebody yelling at me later. Because, like, I will say though, like, it's crazy how there's so many anime that can show, a teenage girl's legal in Asia, so it's fine, legal in Europe, so it's fine. America, we're America. Anyway, we can do that, but you want to show, anything like that of a woman in her 20s in a comedy anime, and you gotta, like, do some form of comedic censorship. That just seems a bit weird. Like, I know she said after she wore shorts underneath, but, like, couldn't, even more to the point, I don't know. I wanted to nitpick that just real quick for some reason. But, yeah, like, I wish that more shit could be like this because maybe having like a job like that kind of thing, maybe not like that because the weather conditions are fucking awful. But like, actually, if you're working inside, it's not that terrible. Regardless, having a job where you actually enjoy all the people you work with and all the customer base would be a dream to most people. Like somebody like me who's ready to sacrifice it all and go to jail if I had to try and get an actual job if the one person said something wrong. Because by this point in my life, I'm like not giving a shit about much. Like people say things I don't like on chat rooms or whatever, social media. I just like block or report them because I'm not willing to deal with that kind of shit. But like in real life, if something said or did something you didn't like, well, you have to put up with it to a certain extent. But it's one thing if you put up with it to a certain extent where, you can leave in like 10 minutes, so it's not that big a deal. And then you have to put up with it for hours because you're at a job. So by like the third time, if you're lucky, you just kind of, you know, because like listen, I help my mother with DoorDash, and like that's already bad enough sometimes. Like I don't even go into the restaurants myself anymore for those kind of situations 90% of the time because the amount of times I wanted to jump behind the counter and clock somebody working there is insane. And it's not even for like the kind of reasons you'd expect. I wanted to clock people because they let somebody else take the food. Now, it's been a while since that's happened because like DoorDash is starting to understand that hey, your employees are fucking idiots or you're greedy, one or the other. It could be both sometimes. But like, I don't know. That's another one of those story time things for another time though. For now, you get my point. Like if I were to work somewhere where I was in front of people, one on one in a personal real life situation, rather than just somebody saying a mean comment on a video and I can either argue it or delete it or whatever. Slap the cuffs on me. But as far as the show itself, back to it. Yeah, really fun show, funny shit. Her and the business guy are definitely either be hinted at strongly or actually get together by the end of the season, I could believe. Especially if this is going to be a one-off thing and 12 episodes long, whatever. But you can let me know your thought on that and whatever else in the comment section down below, as well as, of course, about anything else to do with it, or anything else I should check out this season, next season, or in general. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the gaming channel, the description down below. Ring both bells like Facebook, follow Twitter, and Blue Sky, keep updated with things. TikTok, Patreon, get the full unedited visuals and audio of the stuff I upload here. Follow Twitch, subscribe for benefits, and also Twitch Prime for free. That helps me out immensely for the temporary, these for the long term. And well, as you just heard my little rant about getting a real job, yeah, I'm me spending half my life on this and things not budging, 5 years on this channel specifically. It's just some free buttons, man. That said, though, check out the playlist here, let it run, have conversations with the content within, whatever. Check out the video recommended to you by YouTube here, or the bigger version if you're watching the cut up video, and let it run through. Till next time, been the Blazer King with King's Critique. Out for now. Peace.